Okay, everyone, we're back here and we're gonna keep going through with the review. We didn't finish page 145 yesterday, so let's go over it today. There's only a couple problems here with one important instruction stuck in between, and that's here. The number of a subject is not affected by the phrases between the subject and the verb. So here we have, plants in the desert use water efficiently. The plural subject, plants, takes the plural verb use. Desert, the singular object of the preposition, does not affect the number of the subject. So in is a preposition. So in the desert would be a prepositional phrase, okay? Now, desert is the object of the preposition. So what they're trying to tell you here is don't let this noun confuse you, okay? The subject of this sentence is plants, not desert, okay? So make sure it's your subject that's agreeing with the verb, okay? So plants use, not desert use, all right? So, and there's gonna be a couple of illustrations here below. The delivery man with his package is here. So the singular subject, man, takes the singular verb is. Packages, the plural object of the preposition, does not affect the number of the subject. Okay, so again, here we have a preposition. With packages is a prepositional phrase. So even though you see packages here, and yes, this is a noun, don't get this noun confused with the subject. The subject here is man, singular, not packages, plural. So your verb has to agree with the subject, not with the object of the preposition. All right, let's move down to thing D. Let's make sure you have all of these written down correctly in your paper. Okay, so again, we're crossing out the incorrect form in parentheses. So I went ahead and underlined my subject. Now your instructions don't say to underline the subject. I just did that. So you see how the subject agrees with the correct verb. So the subject of the sentence is crayons. Crayons is plural, so it needs to take a plural verb, are. So the one that needs to be crossed out would be is. Number 2, the subject of the sentence is cans. Cans is plural. Again, it needs a plural verb. So we would cross out was. Was is the singular verb. Were is the plural verb. And again, all throughout these past few pages, it's all been about subject-verb agreement. Next, number 3, the report with its illustration and cover is due Monday. Now, this is what we need to pay attention, well, not pay attention to, this is what we're basically ignoring. These prepositional phrases here, they're the opposite, okay? So see, box is singular, okay? We don't need to pay attention to that. We need to focus on the subject. That's why it's important that you know what the subject of the sentence is before you pick your verb. So determine what the subject of the sentence is, okay? If your noun that you're looking at is inside a prepositional phrase like this with its illustration and cover, okay, you know that that's not going to be your subject. Your subject is not going to be inside a prepositional phrase. All right, let's go on. I'm not sure if we've done number 4. Let's go on to number 4. The report, we were talking about this, with its illustration and cover is due Monday. Report is singular, so it's going to take a singular verb. So the incorrect one would be the plural verb, which is the one we crossed out. Number 4, does the pollen from the weeds bother you? Okay, pollen is the subject, not weeds. So from the weeds is a prepositional phrase. Weeds is the object of the preposition, the noun inside the prepositional phrase. But this is not the subject. The subject of this sentence is pollen. All right, so pollen does bother you. So singular subject, singular verb. Number 5, the president with the other officers sits on the platform. Okay, again, we have another prepositional phrase right here with the officers. Yes, this noun is closest to the verb, but this isn't the subject that it has to agree with. This is a plural noun. This is a singular noun, and this singular noun is the subject of this sentence. So your verb has to agree with it in number. So president sits on the platform. Okay? All right. Let's move on to the next page. I'm just going to read some of these instructions. You probably have already read through all of this. You've probably done all of this work. Right now, like I've said in the other videos, I just want you to make sure you have the correct answer written down. And this also gives you an opportunity to get a better grade in the next quiz that you take. We'll be taking review quizzes. All of these review quizzes will help you bump up your English homework grade until finally we take our English quizzes, like the actual quiz and test. All right, nouns can be complement. In addition to the subject and verb, many sentences have a third basic part called a complement. And this is what we're going over right now, the complement. A complement is a sentence completer. It completes the meaning begun by the subject and verb. Some subjects and verbs are complete without another part. So a simple sentence here, the lion roared. We could add more here, but even without anything else, the sentence is a complete thought. But in this case, some subjects and verbs are incomplete by themselves. So, as an illustration, the sailor raised. Something more is needed to make this a complete thought. So here's the complete thought. The sailor raised the sail. The noun sail completes the meaning. It is a complement, okay? So this is the word we're focusing on, and for the next several problems, we're gonna be focusing on that. To find a complement, say the subject and verb together and ask what or whom. The word in the predicate that answers the question is the complement, okay? So we're gonna go through the work, and I'm gonna go ahead and do these problems with you. If you've already done it, that's okay. Double check your work, make sure you have the correct answer. All right, in your mind, read the subject and verb in each sentence and ask what or whom. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna underline the subject. I'm gonna place one line under the subject, 2 lines under the verbs, and then we're gonna find the complement together. Circle the complement after the verb that answers the question. So, sentence number 1, Dad parked the car in the shade. So, Dad is the subject, parked is the verb. So, Dad parked what? He parked the car. Car would be the complement, so car would be the noun that you circle. Mr. Schwartz is my science teacher. That's not true. Mr. Gonzalez is your science teacher, so I'm just kidding. All right, Mr. Schwartz is the subject, is the verb. So Mr. Schwartz is what or whom? He is whom? The teacher. Okay, so we would circle teacher. Teacher would be the complement to the sentence. This teacher would be the sentence completer. Next, number 3, the artist is painting a sunset. Artist is the subject, is the verb. So artist is what? Is painting is the verb. I was throwing myself off right there. Artist is painting. So is painting what? He is painting the sunsets. So this is your sentence completer or complement, the sunset. So make sure you have sunset circled. You don't have to have the subject and verb underlined. All you have to do is make sure you have the correct word circled. Based on some of your quizzes, your answers were incorrect. So that means several of you need to go back and make sure you have circled the correct answer. Number 4, February is the subject. Is February is what? February is month. Month is the complement of this sentence. Next, number 5. The strong wind capsized or turned over. So the strong wind capsized the toy boat. So the subject of this sentence is wind. The verb, action verb, capsized. So wind capsized what? The boat. The boat. So boat should be circled. Next, breakfast is my favorite meal. I think dinner. Well, there's some good breakfast places. Anyway, breakfast is the subject, is the verb. So breakfast is what? Breakfast is meal. Okay, now it wouldn't be favorite. Favorite is an adjective describing meal. We're circling the complement, and in this case, it's going to be a noun. Nouns can be complements, so this noun is completing this sentence thought. Breakfast is meal. All right, next one. All right, the choir sang a hymn of praise. So choir is the subject, sang is the verb. Choir sang what? It's saying hymn. Okay, same thing here. This is a prepositional phrase, so this isn't going to be my complement. Okay, this is my object of a preposition. Okay, the noun inside a prepositional phrase. Abdul is visiting his grandmother. Abdul is the subject. Is visiting is the verb. So Abdul is visiting what or whom? While the question is answering whom? His grandmother. So grandmother should be circled. All right. I will clip those hedges. So I is the subject. Will clip is the verb. So I will clip what? It's hedges. Not you. You're not going to be clipping anybody else. Please don't clip other people. It's the hedges that you're going to clip. So I will clip hedges, not I will clip you. I think several of you picked you. I'm not sure if that's because you want to clip someone. It's a little scary. Anyway, next one. Did you write a thank you note? So the subject is you. The verb is did write. So you did write what? A note. Okay, thank you is describing note. So note is the complement in this sentence. Next, number 11. My parents are missionaries in Bangladesh. All right, the subject is parents. Verb is are. Parents are what? They're missionaries. Okay, so it answers what or whom. And remember, whenever you take the sentence, ask the questions what or whom for the subject and the verb. So parents are what? They're missionaries. Parents aren't Bangladesh, they're missionaries. Same thing here. In Bangladesh is a prepositional phrase. So Bangladesh is the object of the preposition. Next, can you find that country on the globe? So the subject is you. Verb is can find. So you can find what? Country is the complement. And on the globe is a prepositional phrase. And that completes the sentence. So you can find country. Okay, make sure you have these correct. There's a little note here on the think back. So complements follow verbs. That means they come after verbs. Not all sentences need a complement. Okay, like here, the lion roared. Okay, there's no complement to the sentence because the lion roared is a complete thought. So not all sentences need a complement. So read the subject, verb, and complement together. If they do not make sense, you have chosen the wrong word. Try this in the sentences you have marked. So like we did here, parents are what? Parents are missionaries. If you have parents are Bangladesh, well, no parents are Bangladesh, right? So it doesn't make sense. So you want to go back and recheck that. So next, or like we did here, I will clip what? If you said I will clip you, it does make sense, but that's not what the sentence is talking about. The sentence is talking about clipping hedges, not clipping a person, you. Okay, we definitely don't want to do that. Go back, make sure you have the correct answers. I'm going to make another video here real quick about the next page of instructions, okay? But for now, go ahead and make sure you have all your questions marked correctly. Thanks.